Hi. Okay, I want to talk to you about some upcoming news of new products that are coming out. Now, we have a couple of tool changes I want to talk about, as well as a filament maker. Okay, so since we had the Snapmaker U1 come out, we've had lots of other things that seem to be outdated now. We've got the CREALITY Max machine, we've got all those type of things. But with a single nozzle, it just seems to be old. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I want to get a multi-changer next. And I've been toying with the fact of getting the Snapmaker. And I really love how reliable it is. A lot of people are buying more. So they've already got the one and now they're buying more. So that shows that it's a good product. However, Flashforge are bringing out a comparable machine that looks like a Snapmaker turned on its side, sort of like round 90 degrees, with the tool changers on the side of the actual machine, and it looks pretty much the same, but it's faster at swapping, and which is called their what's it called? They called it flash swap. So it's faster actually swapping the nozzles, and it's pretty fast in actually printing. So it looks like it only does a tower. I've reached out to them and asked them if I could have a machine. Of course, they're considering, but I'm sure they've got tons of people who have got far more followers than I have. So please like and follow, and please subscribe for me. I have put a deposit down. Okay, what they're doing is they're accepting deposits at the moment. And what I like is that Flashforge have done it so that you can actually do it in a UK store. So it's in UK pounds. All right, so I'm going to put my glasses on because I'm going to read. Okay, they've actually made it so that between, well, today and April the 19th, yeah, you can put your deposit down, which will get you the cheapest price. It's only $10 or £10. I've put mine down. Apparently, they've had over 3,000 straight away. They only launched this a couple of days ago, which is really quite good. And what they're doing is they want you to put the final balance down between the 20th and the 30th of April. And that's when it will be a first come, first serve. So if you get yours down right when they launch, to put the full price in, that'll determine where you are in the queue. All right. Now, that is actually May shipping, so that is pretty fast. I'm actually quite impressed in that. And they've already priced it. For the UK, it's only $5.99, which actually equates to 150 off. They're going to make it $7.49 after this first batch have gone out. So you're saving 150 if you get to be one of the first ones there. So that's pretty good. They're actually including shipping in that, which the Snapmaker don't. So that's quite interesting. With the Snapmaker, what their site for the UK will only be in US dollars. So they will convert to euros for the European market, but it's US dollars to the UK. So the 849, which is the current price, it's got £50 off at the moment because they're almost on full price. They're gradually getting there. Yeah, so you still got $50 off at the moment, and that's coming in at $639 plus shipping of $37.65, which ends up being $676.98 in UK pounds. Well, this new Flashforge Creator 5 will come in at $599, or get a Snapmaker that we know works at $676. So it's only $80, but £80 off, but it's £80, and apparently it's faster than the Snapmaker. So this will be interesting. I definitely want to get one. So I'm having to pull all my resources to try and get some pennies in order to pay for it. So please do subscribe because I need you guys. Okay. Now, what that doesn't include the Pro version. Now, what I've seen in other other videos, for other creators, is that they will have a pro version that has like a hat on top, which looks quite good. It's not as, it looks like it's part of the machine, which I quite like. It also is all enclosed all the way around, whereas the basic price Creator 5 is like a frame. Okay, it's not closed in, so it would be like your PLA, sorry, PETG. So with the Creator 5 Pro, it looks like you can actually get a AMS style machine that heats as it goes, and it would go at the side of the machine. Yeah, instead of actually hanging them on the side of the machine, which is the basic Creator 5 by the look of it, it would have these wires go in through these holes that are further up, and they do look like they're actually connected into the machine. So they will have an AMS style. Now, I don't know if that's going to be there at launch. If it is, obviously that's going to bring the price up a bit more. But what a great idea to have an AMS style. I do like that. And if it's pretty quick as well for tool changing, that's going to make a difference, guys. We know this. Now, you could wait and see what Bambu do, because of course they're not going to be left behind for long, are they? And I do think that they are probably bringing out an X2. And from what I've heard, the X2 is likely to be just a smaller version of the H2C. So it's probably an X2C, most likely. However, from what it seems, the leaks have produced an X2D, which would be a dual nozzle. Now, is a dual nozzle enough nowadays? I'm not sure it is. We all want the tool changers for the 4 swaps, don't we? Yes, we do. I know I do. So, sorry, Bambu, unless you're going to bring out a C version with a 4, I'm probably not going to buy it. You can send me one. And then I can tell people why I wouldn't, if that is the case. But as it is at the moment, I want to wait. I'm going to get 4 changers. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a situation whereby they're sending me free machines, sadly. Please. So I am at the situation of interested very much in the Flashforge Creator 5 Pro. Watch this space. I'll let you know what happens when it gets to April the 20th, of course. Now, also in the wings, yeah, we have another one that looks really interesting. Looks like it's going to rival the H2C, because the print plate is going to be 300 by 300 by 300, and it's a nozzle swapper. So it's not a tool changer, it just swaps the nozzles, a bit like the one for the bambulab. However, it's 12 nozzles. Yeah, 12 nozzles. That's just crazy. But it also comes with an AMS style item that you put at the side of it, okay? And it has 6 in it, not 4, 6. Yeah, and it's heated. I think it's only heated at the top half rather than the bottom half. So it could be, if you're mixing your filaments and you need something that needs to stay dry, like your PETG or your fancy filaments can go at the top half, and then just the normal filaments could go in the bottom half. But I think having some form of dryer while you're printing is a bonus. Bambu's falling rather far behind to me right at this minute. Anyway, so this one's called an AtomForm Palette 300. Yeah, I've not heard of AtomForm before. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of history in there, but I don't know what it is. But the AtomForm Palette 300, when it launches, you will have the option of... well, you do have the option right now of putting down an early bird $50 or $37.25 in UK money today. Okay, so you do have that. And when it actually launches, they are saying that that will secure your cheap price for whatever you buy. Okay, so you can buy just the AtomForm Palette 300 on its own, and that will actually be an early bird price of $999, or that's 752 in UK pounds. So that's actually a really good price. However, if you're wanting the AMS to go with it, which I can't see why you wouldn't, that then takes you up another $300. So that still brings it under $1,000 at 978 and 19. So for under £1,000, you can get a tool changer, up to 12 nozzles. So you could effectively put your 0.4s in up to 6, and then put different sizes in for the other ones if you're only going to use 6 colors. And what a great idea. How it does it is it has like a wheel inside the chamber at the bottom at the back, and this wheel has your tools in it, so it doesn't compromise on the size of your print bed. Can buy it with an early bird price as well, with 2 of the filament boxes, 6 kilos of PLA, and a nozzle combo pack for $1,809. Well, that's £1,362. That is actually incredible when you think that the H2C is $2,000. Well, here it's £2,000. They don't give us anything off for that. Yeah, I know, typical. Yeah. So when you consider that, it's a very, very good first price. If you have that money hanging around and you were thinking of buying a H2C, at this point, I would get one of these. Because although I don't know if it's reliable, although I don't know if it's something that's it's not a well-known brand, being AtomForm Palette 300, I still feel that they look like they've got the technology for it. And it just, in all trials I've seen, it looks amazing. If only I had the pennies. So AtomForm Palette 300, if you want to send me it for free, so I could try it out for you and review it, I definitely would do that for you. We've got the Flashforge Creator 5 coming in at $599. Obviously, there's a pro version that would be more. You could stick with a snap maker. That's at the moment in the UK is coming in at $676. You've got the AtomForm Palette 300, and that isn't comparable to these two, but it is comparable to the H2C. We've also got CREALITY. They are launching, they're actually putting this out on the 31st of March on Indiegogo. You will be able to put £50 deposit down, £37.25 today, for their M1, which is a filament machine, and an R1, which is a shredder. And you can buy them as a combo. So if you put down $50 at the beginning, you can choose one or all. Okay. Now, Filament Maker, you may have seen, there's been a couple of creators who've been sent these in advance. It looks quite difficult to get into the habit, get used to how you start winding it onto the spool. But once you've got the knack of it, it seems that you can basically make any colour you want, and you can use some of your recycled filament, which is why you have the shredder. However, you can't do a full reel of all of it being shredded of your own material, from what I can understand. It's a proportionate amount, but it's still recycling, isn't it? So if you're a heavy recycler, you really like the idea of this, then that would be a good one to go down. The colorants that you use for these, you don't hardly use any to get the colors that you need. The more of the colorant that you use, from what I can understand, the darker the color, not the opacity. It doesn't make that sort of difference. So you basically put the the pellets or the shredded item in the top. It heats that through and comes out of an extruder. Coming out of the extruder, you then take it and you wind it right the way round the machine. It goes across, down, across, up through a cooler part to cool it down, and then it comes out and you basically start it onto the reel, and the reel starts pulling it through. Okay, and you're supposed to be able to do 1 kilo of filament within an hour, which I think is actually quite good considering you can do this in your home. I'm not too sure that I would do some of the things that they're suggesting. They're suggesting you could add other chemicals to it, such as perfumes, to make your items smell really nice. I don't know that I would probably go down that route. I've been discussing that with a friend of mine. More chemicals can mean more filtration is needed within your home, obviously for a business, and if it's something in particular that you like the idea of, that you've got a particular item that you could do that with, then yes, why not? But I think mostly to start off with, you would spend your time experimenting with colours. Trying to get the same colour every time might be quite difficult, because you'd have to make sure that you do the right amount of measurement. And then when you include recycled material, the stuff that you've shredded will not necessarily, well, it'll have colour in it already, so that wouldn't necessarily help your colour to remain the same. So I suspect if you're needing a particular colour, say for example somebody's having a wedding and they have a particular accent colour that's part of the wedding, they could ask you to do a filament colour specific, couldn't they? And you would be able to experiment in order to be able to get that colour together. But surely you'd have to charge a premium for that, because there would be quite a lot of waste trying to get that colouring right. And then if you have got the colouring right, have you got the colouring right enough to be able to repeat that? Yeah, I think that's too much for me. I think that's too much for me. I won't be going down the CREALITY M1 and Shredder R2 route unless you want to send me one for free to experiment with for you. Oh dear. Yes, I can dream. Come on. So all in all, we have got some exciting stuff going on this year. And I really think that some of the established companies have dropped they've dropped the ball. They haven't been aware of, I think, for example, Bambu sells so many machines. They must be losing a lot of money right now after the Snapmaker came out. And with this Flashforge are really, they pulled through with their other machines. So I really think that they've established enough now for us to trust them. And unless it's an absolute dire item that is, really falls apart, I think they're going to take a lot of the custom away from Bambu. And Bambu really need to pull the finger out. And this is a Bambu girly talking to you. I've only spent on Bambu up to now, so it's really come on guys, get you I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, I was gonna say something rude. I've got to behave on this channel. Okay, so that's my summaries of some of the exciting stuff that's happening this year, and this is all within the first half of the year. I'm running into June at the latest, I think. So wow, what excitement. Absolutely. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, and of course share for me so that we can get the subscribers up. Once we get to 500 subscribers, I'll be happy to do this every week for you, doing a live chat with you so that you can hear about all the things that are coming up, hear about things and problems that I have all the time and how to solve them, or how I haven't solved them yet and you can come and help me. And of course, I'm always finding some fantastic, amazing prints for you. And I mean, yes, good old Mario behind me. He's a lamp. Isn't that amazing? He's so cute. Anyway, so thank you very much.
Well now, I am fuming. Absolutely fuming. So cross. So cross. I just don't understand why when you go in to buy something in British pounds, it has the same value, same numbers as when it's US dollars. Well, I've discovered, I've worked it out. It does work out at exactly pretty much the same. Basically, when the item comes from China, it has 20% value added tax added onto it. Of course it does. I'm so silly. I'm fuming with myself now. Looking on it to see how much it would actually be for the snap maker, I discovered that the amount it says in dollars is exactly the same amount it says in pounds, but all but a few pounds. So please bear that in mind when you're actually purchasing. And I'm really sorry that I didn't work that out before I filmed this video. I will make sure that I update it properly for future ones. And I hope you still enjoy this last little clip.